an interesting side dish anyway, but it's a big part of
Yeah.
Christmas, especially like Christmas, Boxing morning, New Year's morning. Yeah, with the provision. Yeah, ready. Anyways, well, we're gonna pack it up for the early morning Riser show for today. We're going into Eye on Dependency, this power plant. You mightn't think so, but I do. So, we back. There are some changes as of tomorrow, so you can look forward to it and see how you like it. Yeah? All right. Well, have a great one. And then it's not that I'm going to leave here. I'm going to be with you throughout Eye on Dependency as well. So, anyways, have a wonderful one.
Contender have a big old box guitar. Girl, you sure to see Ember and Ninja.
I still want my saltfish for Christmas. I still want my saltfish for Christmas.
Before I get done bad in the place, girl, bring that saltfish and give me a taste.
I still want my saltfish for Christmas. I still want my saltfish for Christmas.
If you planning to give me breakfast in bed, forget the ham, give me
Saltfish instead.
Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays, at 10 a.m., and exclusively, on I-95.5 FM.
And streamed live, on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page, and YouTube channel.
Sometimes ain't no redress. More knows than yes. And every time it's
Grand Rising Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to our Independency. Thanks for spending your Sunday with us. I am Garth.
And I'm Natasha. Today we are taking on an issue that doesn't always make the headlines, but it shapes lives in ways many of us never stop to think about. That is adult literacy.
For thousands of adults in this country, and children in some cases, reading and writing is a daily struggle. It affects work, relationships, independence, even something as simple as filling out a form.
So this morning we are happy to welcome two volunteer tutors from ALTA, Deborah Thomas Austin and Alexander Bain, and two students, Evans James and Ronald Lester, who are rewriting their futures one word at a time. And we want to share ALTA's tagline, which for this campaign is "My story is an ALTA story," and we hope to hear some of those stories today from the tutors and the students.
So let's talk about courage, second chances, and what happens when someone finally gets the support they always deserve. Stay with us as we take this journey with this very important and something that came to us. Is something that we take for granted, being able to read and write. And for some teachers out there who may experience a child or children coming into their classroom, going to the back of the class, some may just have one copybook in their back pocket and they're not taking any questions. We've interviewed youngsters here from who is in prison right now, went from YTRC straight to the adult prison and they admitted that they couldn't read and write. So what they did, they went to school, they bullied people, they took their lunch, took their money, and they ended up on the streets. They used drugs, they robbed people to buy drugs, and that we have that confession recorded. Is there a connection? Could that person who don't want to be embarrassed in class for their peers to know that they cannot read, do they turn out to be bullies so that the teacher would not bother with them? When they come, they know that is one person, they're not asking any question. It's very interesting. It's something that even I took for granted. So first up on the mic, we have a student and a professional from ALTA in Miss Deborah Thomas Austin and Mr. Bain.
That's Mr. Bain. Evans James.
Evans James.
Was it
Good morning to you all.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, and thank you so much for having us. ALTA is pleased to be here on your program this morning to talk a little bit about what we do and how we influence people's lives.
Well, we've always heard about ALTA, but we never really engaged. I know Ms. Hetty Sargent's name constantly came up when you spoke about ALTA. I don't know if she's still involved.
She has been a member of the board. I don't think she's serving on the board currently, but she's still very active and involved in ALTA's work.
Well, a prison officer sent us a voice note yesterday praising ALTA to the highest because he mentioned, Ms. James' mic is off. 5. There you go. Can you just reintroduce yourself?
Yes. So yes, I'm Deborah Thomas Austin, and I'm a volunteer tutor with ALTA. I've been for the last 14 years, and I was saying thank you so much for inviting ALTA to be part of the program this morning to share a little bit about the work that we do and the impact that we have on students' lives.
Yes, I can't wait to get into this, but I just want to put in there that a prison officer reached out to us yesterday and praised ALTA highly because they noticed that, he pointed out one inmate especially was very arrogant, very hasty, angry all the time, and from the time they sent him to ALTA, he got more confident in himself and was able to relate because, so they really respect the work that you all do in our nation's prisons, and we want to thank you all very much for that. And also, we were looking at a brief news item from the JSC where they speaking about children and their development, and maybe you all can shed some light and help the JSC understand too if there's a connection between children not performing in school and person who cannot read. So, Tasha, let's go.
Yeah, so let's start from the beginning. Tell us who is ALTA and what is the purpose of the organization?
So ALTA, the Adult Literacy Tutors Association, is an NGO, and for the past over 30 years, since 1992, ALTA has been engaged in literacy work, helping adults to improve their reading, writing, and spelling skills. And while we started off focusing on adults, we have now extended our work to work with children from as young as 8 and 9 years old. Yes.
Because I guess you saw the need to expand
to
in that way.
intervene much earlier in the process, yes, so that the work with children allows us to do that. And for over 30 years, ALTA has been offering free community classes. So we have tutors who sit in a classroom in front of the students at community venues, and those classes are free to the students. But we have also had to pivot during COVID, and we had to develop an online platform, a virtual platform. So we have been delivering classes via Zoom since COVID. That has continued because it works out to be much more convenient for some adults based on their work schedules, etc. And then over the past 10 years, ALTA has been working on developing an online program, which is an independent, interactive, web-based program that people can do online without needing a tutor in front of a class.
Now, advocacy starts with a need for something.
Yes.
Who came up with ALTA and why?
So ALTA's founder is Paula Lucy Smith, who is herself a teacher, and she worked at one of the secondary schools. I think it was at Mukorapo. And I think Paula would have seen the challenges in classrooms with children who have come through from primary into secondary schools and were struggling with basic literacy. And over time, she worked on that. She left her teaching job to focus on developing a methodology and a curriculum for teaching persons at that age to read. And so ALTA was founded in 1992 and works with, ALTA has a board of directors. We have a small staff, but we rely on an army of volunteer tutors to reach out to students. And those tutors are trained by ALTA in the ALTA methodology, which we have now, it's proven to work. And so that methodology is what we are trained in and we deliver in the classrooms.
Now, and what's her name? What's the lady's name?
Paula Lucy Smith.
Paula Lucy Smith. She's still alive. She's still with us, right?
Yes, very active.
So good morning to you, ma'am, and thank you very much for seeing the need for this. Now, is it unique to Trinidad and Tobago, or we have other NGOs such as ALTA around the Caribbean world? Did you ever do any research on that?
We have other groups in Trinidad. There's Moms for Literacy. There are other groups that teach literacy, but not using the ALTA method. And we do have other persons in other Caribbean countries are doing it. And literacy is a big thing around the world. So Paula and another staff member would have attended the annual World Literacy Conference, which was held in England earlier this year. So it is a global issue, and there are many organizations around the world that are working on adult literacy.
Right. So when we talk about literacy, what do we mean? Because in the modern times, I guess in the last 20, 25 years, there have been other forms of literacy like media literacy, financial literacy.
Right.
When ALTA speaks about literacy, what does that mean?
So literacy deals with the ability to read, write, and spell. And we recognize that not everybody comes wired for reading. So some people are, and they respond to the written word very easily. They pick up reading very easily. Some people are not, and they have to be taught that skill. So they have to be introduced to different techniques and tools and methodologies that will help them to recognize words and to be able to call those words, read the words, and spell the words. And some people just need to improve their fluency and their comprehension skills to be able to understand what they're reading, to be able to function. So we talk about functional literacy, basic literacy, but it's that ability to read, write, and spell largely.
No, I used to always hear my mom say, when she describing someone who pissed her off, she used to say, and if he sees his name on a check, he can't even recognize it. And he tear up the check. Now, the thing is, I was asking Mr. Bain off where we were preparing to come on air, where does this start? because we take this for granted. Is it that it starts with a parent who couldn't read and never bothered to ensure that the child learned to read from very small, or is it that the parent neglected, even though the parent had the ability to read and write, they neglected having the child do the same? And how does this start really? Because, I mean, something we grew up in school, we took this for granted. We never thought that there were people among us who couldn't read. And
yes.
What does a reader see, a non-reader see when, for me, like if I take up Spanish, it would look jumbled up and crazy to me. Is it the same for someone who cannot read?
Yes. So I said just now that some people are wired to be able to read. Some people are born with the aptitude for reading, and so they are able to read. I don't recall learning to read. I recall being able to read. But for some people, they're not wired that way. So literacy is a function of aptitude, that skill that you were born with, or, but it's also a function of environment and exposure, what you're exposed to at home. So children who are in a home where there are books and where reading is practiced, they develop the knowledge and the skill for reading. Literacy is also a function of instruction, what they get in school. So if you have quality instruction in school, then children are able to read as well. Where any of those fail, we end up with non-readers or people who are struggling to read. So it could be that the parents themselves were non-readers and therefore couldn't encourage the children, they couldn't teach that skill to the children, or they may have gone into schools where teachers themselves do not always have some of those specific skills in teaching persons who cannot read easily. And so they may fall behind that way. So we have to recognize that those three things are coming into play and to be able to deal with it. And what we say is reading is a skill and we can learn the skill. And we have to be open that we don't have a skill. So if we can't sing, we don't feel any shame about that. We tell people we can't sing. Some people have a good voice and they can sing, and with training, musical training, that develops and they can go even further. So literacy is a skill that can be taught and can be learned. So people who do not have the skill from birth or from young can be taught those skills and to improve their reading and spelling and writing.
As you mentioned, being exposed to books and so as a child, is our tradition of storytelling also linked with that ability to read and write?
Yeah, so storytelling, they're hearing. It can also improve their ability to understand because you can explain the stories, and it can also help improve their vocabulary. So they're hearing new words, they're learning new words. So all those things will be important when they are trying to learn to read.
Yeah.
So it is a first step, but we also have to get the children themselves reading.
Absolutely.
But storytelling certainly helps develop that interest in stories and in reading.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Our Independency, and we are having a very interesting conversation with two students and tutors from ALTA, Adult Literacy Training.
Tutors Association.
Adult
Literacy
Tutors Association, okay. And so we have Ms. Deborah Thomas Austin and Mr. Alexander Bain, who you'll hear from in a moment. And we have two students in Evans, James, and Ronald Lester. Before I go to Evans, let me find out how, let's say I'm a teacher, how can I recognize, and I'm starting from school, right? How can I recognize I have a child or a student in my class or people who cannot read? Mm-hmm. How do you recognize that?
Well, there are many different ways. I guess one of the ways would be lack of participation. So if they cannot read, they cannot follow what's going on. So you might find them distracted, not participating. You talked earlier about children who develop their own coping skills. And some of that might be to be disruptive, their antisocial behaviors, because they want to divert attention away from what they cannot do. So you notice the children in the class who are not participating. You notice the children who are not reading when the class is reading. If you're walking past, you may see mouths moving but not hearing sounds. And we have learned that people develop, we call it coping skills, or develop methods of faking it. the fact that they can't read. And so those stories we get from some of our ALTA students when they join the class, how people cover up that fact. So I think you have to be very observant and notice what is happening in the classroom. And even in the workplace, you notice people around you who will come to you with something, I forgot my glasses today, could you help me with this? I don't have a pen, could you do this for me? There are different little things that can eventually trigger something in you, an awareness that something is up, something is different.
No, I was just going to say, as you're speaking, it's all of these questions are coming to me. So this device, and these devices that we have now in the modern world, how, this might be a hard question, but how has the integration of technology in our daily lives affected people's writing skills, especially? Because I hear a lot of parents say that their children don't write anymore. Everything is on a keyboard, you know. How does that impact literacy, do you think?
So literacy in terms of the ability to read, we have the screens and the devices which are coming with information on them. Yeah. But if you have a difficulty reading, recognizing words, decoding words, then that doesn't help you. You're seeing this pattern and God referred to it correctly. It would be for a non-reader, it would be like you or myself seeing a foreign language. So if I wrote good morning, hi Natasha in Chinese for you, if I could have done that, but I can't. But somebody did that and gave it to you, it would look like Greek. It would literally be unrecognizable to you. Yes. And so the written word is like that to a non-reader. So if they cannot read and they're seeing these things on the screen, it doesn't help them. Where it does help them, images, pictures, they can pick up the story from watching a video. Right. They can get a sense of what is going on. If they're not readers, you would find that they're not sending the text message and the WhatsApp message, they send you a voice note. And if you respond to them with a text, a written thing, then it's helping them to learn to read the words. So I don't respond to my students with voice notes, all right, because you're here to learn to read. So I'm going to write for you to read. And you keep the language within what they know so that you're not overwhelming them with big words. But the technology is there and it can help them. It can convert written words for you from WhatsApp can do that and convert it to speech so you can listen to the message and so on. You have audiobooks that you can listen to. So the technology can be a help, but it can be also a hindrance because it's preventing some people from developing that skill to read because there's so many other options. Yeah.
So there are people who actually make it to the workplace not being able to read properly, but so how do they? But they can speak, so they get past an interview, or they have somebody fill out a form for them, or but eventually they'll be found out.
I will share with you off air one of the lessons from one of our ALTA books. It's called Faking It, and it's an interesting story about a young man who went from exactly that stage, looking for a job. I think he was with a friend who told him this place is looking for workers, and they went in and they gave him a form, and he said, I forgot my pen in the car. But he ran home to get his sister to fill out the form for him. And he came back and he got the job. And so he went through a series of adaptation strategies to be able to go through that job. Did the job well, got promoted, had to do payroll at one time, got somebody, oh gosh, I'm busy now, could you organize these checks, hand them out, because he couldn't read the names on the envelopes. And in the meantime, he would get his sister to read things for him at home, he would show her the names of the workers, and she would call out the names for him. Wow. So people adapt. And so they can get through the workplace. If it's field work, they can do the field work well. If it's reports, they might ask somebody else to write that report, and they manage to get through. But there are several people in the workplace who are challenged with literacy.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Our Independency, and we are hosting ALTA this morning, and you've been Miss Deborah Thomas Austin is on the microphone right now. We're going to go to a break, and when we return, I'm going to introduce Mr. James, who will tell us about, the moment he realized that, he decided he needed help with reading. And I want to commend you all very much for coming in studio, knowing that you're not concerned what people think anymore. You want to tell, because you want to help somebody out there. There's somebody listening to you right now who cannot read. All right? And ashamed to say. There's no shaming it now, right?
But as you mentioned now, before we go to the break, there was a something that was pointed out to me by Kim when we did the promo at first, and we used the word illiterate. Could you tell us why that is a taboo word, and what kind of connotations are associated with it, and why you don't use it in your practice?
Yeah, there's just a lot of negativity and stigma around this inability to read fluently or to read well. I think when we say the word illiterate, it's as though we're hitting at the core of something defective in people, especially adults, because adults see children being able to read. And so when you hit them with that says there's something, it suggests to them that there's something fundamentally wrong. So we do talk about literacy, but we prefer to say that people have low literacy skills or are non-readers, something that sounds less judgmental and
stigmatizing.
Yes.
Yeah. Because people use the word illiterate to mean not bright.
Exactly.
Right?
And I think it's important for us to know that non-readers are not non-thinkers. And people, adults who are unable to read well, they have their lived experience, they have their life experience, they know things, they know a lot about what is going on around them. And so they can express that verbally. They may just not be able to read certain things on the written word in a book. So we have to be careful about associating low literacy skills with somebody who is not intelligent.
Yep.
So can you describe someone illiterate if you tell them don't do something and they keep doing it over and over and over and over? That is literate or hardened?
I would think.
I'll get and go next door and tell them.
Yeah, we could
somebody,
go to the break now.
yeah, somebody ask a question before we go to the break. Good morning to Garth and Natasha. And remember, if you have any questions, you can send it on YouTube or Facebook for us, and we'll open up the lines for you if you have any questions when you have to call in. But someone wants to know if there's an ALTA class in school for children with disabilities. Is there one?
So what we do in schools is the ALTA online program. So that online independent web-based program that's interactive, student and their device, we have that in primary and secondary schools, but not all schools are involved in the ALTA program. Some schools are, and where they are, the children are enrolled in the program and progressing through the program to try to improve their literacy skills.
Let me ask this question. Are some schools in denial about having ALTA in there, or they see it as a taboo having ALTA in their school?
There may be a situation like that, but I'd like to think in many schools that they recognize when the children have a problem. Teachers, principals are looking for ways to help those children. So in many cases, we've had schools reaching out to ALTA to say, we need some help.
Very diplomatic response. Let's go to a break, and when we return, we'll speak with a student of ALTA who is very proud to be here with us. You're listening to Independency. We'll be right back.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Dobson here from HMP London. Can I speak to Mr. James, please?
This is Mr. James speaking.
Thank you. Can you hold the line? I have a call coming through to you, sir.
Sure.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, yes, Brian?
Daddy, I'm just calling to tell you that locked up in the UK for drug trafficking.
Oh yeah? You lock up? And you tell me I was going to Bago? And I tell you about them boy I was liming with? Well, alright. Don't drop the soap. Carry out.
Eye on Dependency. Reality radio at its best every Sunday on I-95.5 FM.
Oh gosh, it really making hot today, boy.
Mommy, what you drinking?
I'm trying to cool down in this heat. Beer is not for you though. Only adults can have alcohol.
But Mommy, alcohol is not for you either. Pregnant women not supposed to drink alcohol.
Where you hear that?
Mr. Gart from Iron Dependency was telling us in school about fetal alcohol syndrome. That's what babies get when mummies drink while they're pregnant. I don't want a brother or sister like that, Mommy.
Okay, you're right. I'll go drink water instead because I want this baby to be a happy, healthy child just like you.
Thank you, Mommy.
Drinking while pregnant can have devastating consequences. Think before you drink. A message from Eye on Dependency.
My story is an ALTA story.
Before ALTA, I was so nervous, never understand a lot of things. ALTA is a nice place to learn. Like if any student in this program made a mistake, or the other students will turn and help out that student.
In ALTA for a long while, I'm not lying. In ALTA, jump out, I come, a challenge, it was hard, but I fight still. I started to feel nice, I started to feel sweet about myself.
I really know my skills was terrible. In within a year time, I do that level 1, I completed. What? That was like a dream.
The teachers are very wonderful, which is one thing I love. The next thing I love about it, it's free.
You can't study what persons may think, the perception of person. So you have to focus on what you want.
I am enjoying every moment in ALTA.
Today now, I can read, I can write, I can spell, get into ALTA so you can write your story.
7/08/1990.
Join us this Sunday for episode 47 of Eye on Dependency, where every life is a biography.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a person challenged with reading? How does it feel to sit in a classroom and fall behind, year after year? Are non-readers susceptible to crime?
So like the other day I had a challenge when I go to the bank, they give me a form and they just give me the pen and the paper, and it's like, and you know, if you don't know how to read and write and spell and thing, you will have trouble.
This Sunday, we spotlight adult literacy and the life-changing work of ALTA, the Adult Literacy Tutors Association. We'll be joined by volunteer tutors Deborah Thomas Austin and Alexander Bain, along with students Evans James and Ronald Lester, who are reshaping their futures one word at a time. Listen live from 10 a.m. on I-95.5 FM or watch live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page or YouTube channel. The Counter-Trafficking Unit, Ministry of Homeland Security brings you Eye on Dependency. We don't just share stories, we change lives.
Hackshaw, as you know him as Bass, and as like he said, you can do it too. Those of you who are listening, you can do it too. That's his offering for 2025-26, and we thank him very much for producing this timely track. You can do it too, as we have people in studio here who could not read or weren't proficient readers, and now they're getting there, and we thank them for joining us this morning to share their story. Before we go into this conversation, I need to share this on air that we were having off air. Miss Deborah Thomas Austin, diplomat as she is, I would still like to find out, are you telling us that there are parents out there who had an issue with learning that their child was not proficient, could not read properly? I want those parents who are listening right now
God,
to
I
hear
can
this.
tell you I've had the personal experience of being asked by a school to bring the ALTA program into the school, and they identified several students who would be able to benefit from the program. And when the parents became aware of it, some parents declined to have their children in the program because the reports were coming back to us that nobody had ever told them that their child had a literacy problem, and they didn't want their child in the program because they felt it would stigmatize the child. And so they made the choice to not have the child take advantage of the program. It has happened.
I am flabbergasted by this, you know. So when a parent should be happy to learn this, they instead put that pride in front and say, well,
that
no,
could
that
very well be considered a form of abuse, because if you are preventing a child from learning in any capacity, I think that's neglect.
Yeah.
But I think there are those parents, once they can be made aware. So recently I spoke to some parents at a parent-teachers meeting, a PTA meeting in the school, and we were happy to let them know that ALTA was in the school. Some of your children will be doing the ALTA online program, and we talked to the parents about ways in which they could support the child in learning at home.
Right.
Because with the ALTA online program, they can log on at any time, not just in school. So we were able to sort of encourage the parents to do that, make sure they come home, they log on weekends, during the school holidays. We want the parents to be involved because it's not something that they have to do only in school. Yeah.
if you're having problems on our Facebook feed, please remember we have the YouTube channel you could hop across to and get a better feed. Now, Mr. Could you come closer to the microphone, Mr. Evans James?
Yes, sir.
And
yes, so tell us, Evans, you've been listening intently to the conversation and nodding your head, at certain points. What was the moment for you when you decided or you figured that you needed help with reading and writing, and what pushed you to make that step?
Okay. By reading Bible, it have some words in the Bible cannot pronounce properly. So, and then I was home doing nothing because I retired from my job. So I'm home, have nothing much to do. So I just think I should go and join the ALTA class to just further my reading. And everything now is reading. Most things you have email, reading, you go to the doctor, you fill out form, reading. So basically that is what pushed me to do it. And then I wanted to go and take a computer course. So taking a computer course, that is reading, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so
And
that's
how old were you when this revelation came to you?
someone is saying here is speaking a little soft, so you could raise. Can
So,
you?
how old I was? 58. 58?
Wow.
Yeah. I retired from my job and home, as I said, nothing to do. So instead of being home idling, I picked up reading. But seriously, it helps me a lot. So I know how to break up my words into syllables in order to pronounce it better. And I have some wonderful teachers. They make sure you learn or you understand the work before they move on to other things.
Was it intimidating at all, or how did you hear about ALTA? How did you reach out to them?
I called, I asked a guy who used to work with, and he told me about the class.
Okay.
So I called and they gave me the information. So I joined the class at ALTA on the main road, 11th main road there, at the Open Bible. Yeah, I joined it in that compound, yeah.
And how has it been so far? What is the biggest change that you've seen in your life since you started the program?
I could read more fluently now, and they wanted me to move on to level 3, but I'm good.
You're good? Well, you're at level 2 now?
Yes.
How many levels are there? 3 levels. 3 levels.
But I'm cool where I am, but as time goes by, I'll move up.
But how's school though? How let's go back to when you grew up and going to school and all of that. Was that a priority at home, or it wasn't with your parent?
No, it wasn't a priority with my parents because, as you know, when you're younger, you have things to do, stuff to do. So I did not pass common interest as they used to have it, but I was not that. I went to Shagaramas for 2 years and I was good there. Yes, youth camp Shagaramas, and then after that I started to work. You know, so it wasn't really no big challenge. But being home doing nothing, it makes me feel like, you know, I could still further my learning. And as I told you, I wanted to do computer, and computer is learning, reading, you know, reading most things. So I'm glad I took the class.
Was there ever a time when you found yourself in an embarrassing position, like, you know?
No. The teachers I have there, if you don't know something, they will explain it to you.
No, I'm talking about before you joined ALTA.
Mm-hmm.
Would you, like, you know, you go to, you
Like
get a form and you have to fill it out.
Driver's permit and so forth.
Right, yeah.
No, that was simple. I could have get along good, you know. It was okay for me, but I just wanted to further my reading as how some people read fluently, you know. So I still have a little problem with words pronouncing and things. So I want to go on further at ALTA. It's a good experience for me, and I'm going to continue doing it.
No, and you say when you joined the class, you just decided, look, I don't care what people think, I need to do better.
Yes, yes. Yes, well, to be honest, the words, Nebuchadnezzar, that's a big word, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
And also, you could see words and pronounce it, but to spell them, you know, now you could break them up into syllables in order to pronounce them. But you might have a little challenge in spelling them. But I'm getting there.
You have children?
Yes, 6.
6 children? 6?
Yes.
Well, that doesn't stop you. I mean,
No. Well, I had my 2 sons. I had 2 sons living with me, and well, the big one, he was going Belmont Boys. He could have read, but what I could not have done, I used to send them to take lessons. Okay, so like the phone now, I can message and things. See, you teach me how to message. You understand? So it have no shame in it, but now I can do it for myself.
And they are all proficient readers.
Yes, and
children.
now he's married to one of the pastor daughter.
Which
Yeah.
pastor?
He's married to one of the pastor. He's good. He's working now. He have his own house, home
Doing
and thing.
well.
Yes, he's doing well.
Okay.
The other one going away to meet his mom. They are good. So I am home alone doing nothing. So I decided to take up the ALTA class.
All right.
You think at some stage you would like to maybe become a tutor as well to help other people?
No. You see, tutor teaching, that is a special. You have to have special patience to teach.
This is true.
And I do not. No.
You don't think you have that?
No, I don't think I have that patience. Teachers are very special people, you know.
They are.
Very special. They have real patience. So they should be paid a special salary for that.
Well, from what I understand, the tutors at ALTA are volunteers.
Yes.
But, I mean, I'm sure if we ask Mr. Bain or Miss Deborah about the work that they do, it's fulfilling in a way that
they
money
enjoy it.
cannot.
They enjoy it. When you see when they're enjoying something, they enjoy it. But they have patience. Because you know, be teaching someone something, I have to do it over and over with them until they understand. That is how I know my teachers that I have, they are great.
And I would expect too that teaching adults is much different to teaching children as well. Eh?
Yes.
You're laughing
Because-
like if you give teachers some trouble.
No. Yes.
No, Evans is actually one of our very good students. And Evans has come to the realization that he can improve his reading. So he was not starting from the place that the many students start from, where they may have difficulty recognizing letters or calling basic words. His reading is pretty good, his spelling is pretty good. So he wants to improve fluency, and he's been challenging himself to better handle the Bible reading. So sometimes he does come to class with some passages from the Bible with some difficult names and ask for help in terms of calling those names. But yes, students start in ALTA they start at different literacy levels, and he was one of the students who was able to do more than basic reading when he started.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Independency, and we are going on a different track this morning. It's the road less traveled, and you know, people read something we take for granted. We have ALTA tutors and students in studio with us this morning, and you've been hearing from Ms. Deborah Thomas Austin and Mr. Evans James. When we go to another break, when we come back, we're going to hear Mr. Alexander Bain and Ronald Lester. Now, these ads are on television as well, so you would see some of the people. Like I heard one gentleman say, "I'm feeling sweet, knowing I could read. No, I'm feeling nice," you know. And one, I think, is Sir Lester spoke about going to the bank and filling out a form, and you know, you could end up in problems. Now, I have met people who in prison and out of prison who, because of that, they decided the best thing for me was to sell drugs, and not bother to go and sit in front of the interview panel, and they are skilled with their hands, but they couldn't get a job, and some didn't have where they couldn't read a tape measure, so they decide the best thing to do was sell drugs, and they ended up in prison. Is there a journey like that for most people, or a lot of people, I should say, who end up in prison?
I would hesitate to say that it's most people or many people, because we simply do not have the data to corroborate that. We've not done the studies to show that, but we do know that people who are challenged in reading and who may not be performing well in school because of that, they opt out mentally. You know, they may not leave school physically, but they opt out of the class and what's going on in the class because they cannot participate. And some of them engage in disruptive behaviors, antisocial behaviors, and so on. So they may end up doing things that are not aligned with the law. But to say that there is a known relationship or causal relationship between literacy and crime, we simply don't have the data in Trinidad to say that.
And that's our basic problem across the board in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. Data. There is no, I could give you data from Canada and other, but not home. Yes. And we have a problem with collecting data, and we need to start somewhere. There are NGOs that can be employed to do this. If it's too much, because we do expect government officials to do everything for us. And I think they should somehow, because with the new amount of drugs that have hit our streets, I am seeing people committing crimes, and I know I am absolutely 150% sure that some of them are drug users, and they're doing it to satisfy their habit. But we will just be guessing because we're not collecting the data to find out. So if someone is arrested immediately, that should be part of the legislation now, that they be drug tested, because we are overrun with drugs. We are hearing about pink cocaine and other cocaine that has reached the streets to our young people. That's another story. But let's go to a break, and when we return, you'll hear from now Mr. Ronald Lester and Mr. Alexander Bain, who will tell us about their experience as tutor and student at Adult Literacy Tutors Association. Stay right there. We'll be back.
Hey, all here, I look into head home, you know. Who riding with me?
What? Oh gosh, you could mash up a line, my boy.
Yeah, cause he's stale, eh? We coming, bro. But first, one for the road.
Nah, I real good, my brother. I have to drive all the home. And besides, it's a police on the road.
You's a soft man, or what? Boy, throw back the drink, eh?
Well, I'm told you, boy, I am the designated driver, and I must be responsible. So let's rest me without talk now. Let we go.
Okay, now, boss. Okay, we coming.
Drinking and driving can have devastating consequences. Think before you drink. A message from Eye on Dependency.
My name is Ronald and my story is an ALTA story. You know, there are things I cannot do. So, like the other day, I had a challenge when I go to the bank. They give me a form and they just give me the pen and the paper, and it's like, I should, and you know, and you know, if you don't know how to read and write and spell and thing, you will have trouble from the beginning. You know, you just feel that type of way, frightened, embarrassed, you know, scared. But right now, the teachers are very wonderful. The volunteer teachers, the tutors are very wonderful. They help us. You could come to them anytime. You could call them and have a conversation with them, and they will be willing to relate to you, which is one thing I love about the ALTA class. And the next thing I love about it, it's free. And I want to go and do a little computer course and thing after to learn to use computers and stuff, because we're in the age of that right now. So you have to up yourself from where I was to where I am now. I'm so proud of my own self.
Are you 16 and over? Your story can be an ALTA story. Free spelling and reading classes. Sign up at Nalis Libraries Wednesday, 3rd September, or call 708.
My story is an ALTA story.
Before ALTA, I was so nervous, never understand a lot of things. ALTA is a nice place to learn. Like if any student in this program made a mistake, or the other students will turn and help out that student.
In ALTA for a long while, I'm not lying. In ALTA, jump out, I call me challenging, it was hard, but I fight still. I started to feel nice, I started to feel sweet about myself.
I really know writing skills was terrible. In within a year time, I do that level 1, I completed. What? That was like a dream.
The teachers are very wonderful, which is one thing I love. The next thing I love about it, it's free.
You can't study what persons may think, the perception of person. So you have to focus on what you want.
I am enjoying every moment in ALTA.
Today now, I can read, I can write, I can spell. Get into ALTA so you can write your story.
708-1990.
The Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service Hotline 800 PRSN. It's a toll-free number that anyone can call to report any misconduct or illegal activities within the prison service. All calls are strictly confidential and would remain anonymous. Simply dial 800 PRSN. That's 800-7776. Leave a message and our team of highly trained professionals will treat with your report in a timely manner, promoting security, integrity, public safety, and confidentiality. Do your part.
Students and tutors of ALTA. You know, you've heard of ALTA before, the Adult Literacy Tutors Association. Well, we have them here in studio, and we are getting so much valuable information about literacy in Trinidad and Tobago and how ALTA is filling the gap of persons' reading and writing skills. And we have...
And we'd like to thank Miss Paula Lucy Smith,
yes,
who in 1992 decided that we need this. And here they are today.
Do something about it, yeah.
Yes, and so thank you very much, Miss Lucy Smith, for your vision. And we'd also like to, Miss Thomas was telling us about the Ministry of Homeland Security supporting an initiative with the prison where they continue, once they discover people or inmates that cannot read, they refer them to ALTA. And
to do their online course.
To do their online course, and we thank them very much for facilitating this. And so here we have in front of the microphones
so we
now.
have Mr. Alexander Bain, who is a volunteer tutor, and Ronald Lester, who we saw in the back there. They have stepped up to the mic now and will continue the conversation. I want to start with Mr. Bain and ask about the literacy levels in Trinidad and Tobago based on the work that ALTA has done. What we have always heard that Trinidad and Tobago has a very high literacy rate, but what are the actual figures?
Well, good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you all for having us to the ALTA program. So, 2 national surveys were done. One by ALTA in 1994 and one by University of the West Indies in 1995. And the results were 23% of our population struggle with everyday reading and writing. 32% can only cope with some everyday reading and writing. Less than half of our adults can read and understand a simple paragraph from a newspaper.
Less than half.
No?
Less than half can do that. Okay. Wow.
Go ahead.
That's it? I mean, so where does this figure that 98% of persons, where does that literacy figure come from? Or is it just because of the fact that we have free education at primary and secondary school level?
They're using different
metrics
to measure literacy.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's not a true picture.
Just under half of the population can efficiently read a simple paragraph. That is startling. And it really highlights the need for organizations like ALTA, because if we have, and these are adults, right, who were surveyed?
Well, yes.
Adults.
So, Mr. Bain, what does ALTA do differently from other schools with respect to the teaching of reading?
So, firstly, ALTA uses direct discovery teaching. Direct discovery means that the tutor asks the questions and the student respond to learn. Right? Additionally, ALTA uses the methods geared to teach dyslexic persons, because one of the main reasons for people not being able to read and write comprehensively is dyslexia. So ALTA uses these methods. So that's basically 2 differences. Thirdly, in every ALTA class there is two tutors. Of course, you would understand in the normal teaching class there, right?
One teacher and a million children, yes.
Right, and so the ALTA ratio of is one tutor to at least 8 students. Okay. Additionally, the ALTA tutor or tutors walk around. So you introduce the student to whatever topic it is, and then you walk around and you liaise one-on-one with the student. So those are basic differences.
Now, how you all are spread across Trinidad and Tobago?
I'm not sure what to be good.
Could you, no, Miss the mic.
Not,
You could use the same one.
Yeah, we're spread across Trinidad. So at the moment, we have about 20 community classes, in-person classes around the country. We have a number of virtual classes, as I said, so people can log on using Zoom, and the tutor is there teaching the class. And that is a method that we use a lot in Tobago. At the moment, we don't have face-to-face classes in Tobago.
So let me
but
ask this
Tobago
question.
students connect virtually.
Right. So let me ask this question. How many people attend these classes, and how often do you all have them? First of all, how many people in each class?
So the class size differs depending on the location.
Okay,
so
so-
some classes may have over 20 students.
Right.
Some classes may have 5 or 6 students. So it depends on the location. And each year with our student registration campaign, we get about 500 to 600 students starting off ALTA.
See,
Now,
there you go.
because they're adults and people, life happens, people are involved with home, work duties, etc., they may not always stick with it and finish the entire year. But we are registering between 500 to 600 students every year. So ALTA estimates that since we've been in existence, we've touched about 14,000 students.
You see, this is why I ask a question, because it's a way of collecting that part of the data to see how many people really reaching out for these classes, and it gives gives you an idea of how serious the problem is.
Yes.
Because remember, there are still people who would not go to these classes, who would not sign up for these classes, which later on we let people know how to do that, right? But yes, Mr. Evan. Mr. Bain.
So before you move on from it, one of the important things about difference between the ALTA and the average normal teaching class is the respect for the student. It's very important, and it's at the core.
So you would
of
not
the
hear from a
ALTA
tutor,
program.
boy, your head hard, boy. Why you so stupid? You wouldn't hear that.
No.
Right.
The total disrespect. And those are the things that would, those comments like that would turn off.
That's true.
Of
So
course.
so our objective is to encourage, not to discourage people.
No, I say that because we have heard in other institutions where teachers actually say that to children. So that's why I asked the question.
And I'm saying that's why I'm emphasizing that the respect is at the core, because we do, and it's different to the formal schooling, as it were. We're always different, so there's no need to go down that road.
I hear you.
And you have to have a different approach to teaching adults and teaching children, because you know that the adult may have some reticence or, a little fear, maybe as well, of being in a schooling, a class environment as well, because that may be a traumatic thing for them. But do you think, Mr. Bain, that I know that Kim had mentioned to me that there are more male students than female in ALTA. What do you think accounts for that?
Well, I have not observed that. For example, in the few classes that I would have done, there are always more females.
Okay. It varies.
Well, and I don't know. I can't answer why females tend to be more present. But even as tutors, in the tutor population, more females than males.
Well, yeah, I expect that.
So maybe females are just outgoing, and the people who want to achieve, they see the need for being involved in helpful things.
But at the school level, do you think that boys need to be taught the skill differently?
Well, I'm not a professional teacher, however, no, but there's a view that no. As a matter of fact, using the ALTA system, both males and females progress equally. They don't have any,
Gotcha.
problems.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Independency, and we have had an interesting conversation this morning with ALTA, And we have in studio Ms. Deborah Thomas Austin and Alexander Bain, who are tutors at ALTA, and two students, Evans James and Ronald Lester, who volunteered to come here this morning to tell their story. Ronald Lester now is in front of the microphone. Ronald, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Gatt and Natasha, and to the wider public, Trinidad and Tobago.
And thank you very much for willing to share your story here this morning with us and our listening and viewing audience. Now, what was your moment that you decided you needed help with reading and writing?
As I say over the mic, when we were over the mic, it's not to say that I had a problem with reading or writing or anything like that, you know. It's that just you being an individual, watching other people elevating in life, you know what I mean? You might be on a lower level and you just want to really elevate yourself as an individual, so you have to do things to push yourself, to elevate yourself. And the ALTA was an opportunity for me. As a friend of mine introduced me to ALTA, I take it up and I run with it. It was like, you know, me being in the position that I am right now, and I just wanted to really change my life differently, because, you know, you see my situation, right? Yeah, so I was in a vehicle accident, I lost one foot, and it's just like, you know, home and, you know what I mean, and doing nothing much, and you just want to get yourself to do something that you tell yourself, you know, you have to do something because you want to elevate yourself differently too, you know. And the ALTA was an opportunity to me, and I take it up and I run with it, and I still function with it. Before, I used to go to the St. George's College, which was in Barrett area. That was before the COVID and stuff, because we used to do walking classes and stuff, and with Mr. Lennox and thing, you know, say good morning to Mr. Lennox, and, you know what I mean, and my teacher, Miss Lily and Miss Kim and all of them, you know, blessings to them. And I be, how to say, boy, I thought that this morning, in a sense that, you know.
You what? Sorry?
She's emotional.
Yeah,
yes,
you know.
Emotional.
Why are you emotional?
Because for the impact that it's had on your life, right? And the people you've met and you've engaged with.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
How did it start though, growing up? Did you see this, did you have any problem in school with reading and writing? How?
Well, as I say, I didn't really have a problem, but the impact, as I say, the ALTA class, you know, the people seeing you all and watching you all on YouTube and Facebook and thing, and then being here today personally, there's a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I didn't.
We are glad to know. I mean, he was telling us this of that he is a follower of Independence. He watches our program. So for him to be here today, sitting with us, is a little emotional.
And I just say it was the fact of the ALTA too, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't for ALTA, you know what I mean?
So why did your friend recommend ALTA to you?
I can't say why she introduced it to me, but just as I see, you know, you're home and doing nothing, and just to get yourself doing something, you know what I mean? The opportunity was there, and she like, you know, hey, it have a course going on, you know, ALTA course, you know, you want to join? And I was always enthusiastic about doing things, as I say. So I like, yeah, we will go join. At that time, it was like in Barrett area, you know, the college, and we walk in, we sign up. But she went on a different level than me due to the assessment that we did. You know what I mean? And
I'm sure it helped that she went with you. She didn't just. I'm sure it helped that she went with you.
Yeah. And we start off there. We used to go to classes and stuff and thing, and it was nice, you know what I mean? And you know, the future thing with the teachers helping you. The teachers not disrespectful at all. They will always be there to assist you, and no matter what, they always respected and respectable, and that was one of the nice opportunities with the ALTA then. And then came COVID. Then we had to do the online, and I still pursue myself. My friend ended up dropping off and stuff, but I still pursue it. Up to this day, I get 2 certificates already from the ALTA, which is from level 2. Then I go to the level 2 spelling, and I'm now into the level 3, you know, and this is the first time I'm doing the level 3 in the ALTA and stuff and thing, and I try to be my best. My next step, even as I said earlier, I would love to do a computer course.
No, the reason why I ask the question for somebody who's listening or they remember one of our taglines, every life is a biography. And somebody won't give you a tic-tac if you're better than bad. If they, right? So if it is somebody introduces that you feel is that something...
What's wrong with me?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get, so that somebody listening, like I said, you know...
Yeah, like to say, like if some... I can speak for myself, as I say again earlier on, I wouldn't say that, but as I say, opportunity arise and the altar is free, and I could take the opportunity.
So you just like free things?
No, it's not about free thing, you know what I mean? I'm trying to paint it in that way, you know what I mean? You know, it's not how you could pay words together differently, but it's not paint it in that way. You see, we're trying to get people to understand that opportunities are there out there, and opportunity in life, if you understand it, as an adult, is one in a lifetime. And sometimes you miss an opportunity and you can miss the world. And you take the opportunity and you can be on top of the world. You know what I mean? So the opportunity was there. I take it and I run with it. Tutors real nice. Mr. Thomas.
Right.
Mr. You know, and the other tutors there, and they said, "Mother Kim," and reach out to me because she saw my interview on. I went and did the reading under the tree.
Yes.
And with that reading under the tree, they asked me there, like, you know, hey, I'm interested in making doing an interview. And I'm like, yeah, why not? You know what I mean? Because I always enthusiasm of doing stuff now. And that interview, I feel, is that what really bring me all here. Because the tutors see that interview, the altar, and they pick me in that way, and people like, why would everybody to pick you, you know what I mean? But Miss Kim, she say, Ronald, you could talk, and they like the way I talk. So she gave me the opportunity on the platform to come out, and this is not the first interview we did it with other radio stations and stuff and thing, you know what I mean? To try to reach out the people as much as to get people to come out, the youths and them who are the side of the road, the mothers who will be carried, or you could come. It are numbers that you could call, you could go online, just type it up, Google, you will see all the numbers there. You can reach out in your community, it's online, you know what I mean, and you can just make a step to just make yourself somebody better. I had trouble in pronunciating big words. The altar helped us to break it up into syllable by syllable, you know what I'm saying, and it helped me a lot, and I'm still pushing to go forward. Reading again, as my boy, who was here before me, you know, he would read fluent, you know, sometimes some people have trouble at reading fluent, like one time, you know what I mean, there's, you know, stammer and stutter, and the altar help you to do this.
No, Ronald, there are a lot of adults who feel shame or fear about admitting that they need help. What would you say to somebody who is still hiding that struggle?
Yeah, some people shy for real. You know, some people just shy on the self, on the owner, and there are people who are brave. But you can come in and, you know, there's a self something within yourself, you know what I mean, that you want to do something different with yourself, so you have to make that effort. So I will tell the people who are feeling shy out there, have been put aside the pride and come forward, don't study your neighbor or your friend or whoever, because it's all an individual, something that you want to do. You know you can read, you know you can write, and you want to better yourself. The opportunity is there with the altar. Come in, the teachers and the tutors are very, very wonderful. They're willing to help. I have a tutor right now. As the guy said earlier, I know two tutors in class, sometimes three. He's one. And this tutor that I am in my level 3 class help us a lot.
So if, and Ms. Thomas, you could jump in here too, for those who just joining us, a parent, how can a parent, and this could happen both ways, as I asked the question on the top, how is it that a parent could have children in a home and not know that they can't read? And is it incumbent upon a teacher or teachers to reach out to the parent and say, look, your child having problems in class, maybe you should do some extra lessons with them or whatever. Let's deal with that for a moment.
So I think the challenge at home could be that parents are working, parents are busy. Parents may not be there when the children come home from school and are doing the homework. If the parent themselves may not be able to assist the children with that homework, they don't know what the child is doing, what the child can do, and what the child can't do. Especially those parents who are working shifts, and when the children are home, the parents are not there, so they could miss it. So I think the education of children is a joint effort. It's a team effort between the parents and the teachers. So we can't expect the teachers to do all, but teachers may pick up on certain things in the classroom that the parent could miss because the parent is not interacting with the child in terms of the schoolwork, which in itself is a challenge. So if the school picks up something and brings it to the attention of the parent, then we would all expect that everybody wants what's in the best interest of the child and that they would work collaboratively to achieve that. So I think, the parent has a role at home. They may notice certain things and they can raise it with the teacher, and the teacher may raise things with the parent. That's how we figure out that there is a challenge.
I want to come back to Ronald for a second here and ask him about what do you think about your future now? You mentioned wanting to learn computer and stuff, but what do you think about your future now that, or what do you see that you couldn't see before?
Discipline. No? Discipline. Teach you to pronounce words different, you speak different, you talk different. Education is a key, and they always say that in truth, So people who are uneducated, they will see the ignorance in them and the ignorant behavior in boy, because education is a key, and it's a discipline. It is, remember when you get older and you want to present yourself as a parent to knowing you have kids and, family members, workers, your monks, because right now I am a foreman on where I work right now, right? And recently I get a promotion, and I was very wonderful for that too. Just to see the blessings. So I used to pray on the altar too, like when I say prayers, to elevate yourself differently. So I see myself in the near future. Still, I can't say like try to be a tutor or anything, but I would have loved to further myself and do more CXC and stuff. I would say I wanted to do that and to do a computer course and get a certificate from a CXC. And I don't know where it might lead me, because I'm getting older stuff, but so long as you can do things to improve your own self, and I don't want to go by somebody to always, I want to pay a bill online, or I want to send an email, or they're supposed to send me an email on my phone, I don't know how to read it, I don't know how to reply back. These are things I want to be done away with. I want to do these things on my own, you know what I mean? And so this is why I push myself for the ALTA, to learn to read more better, to pronounce words more better, to challenge myself with the computer course. I want to do that. That is one of my goals that I really want to achieve. And basically, I work, so I cool. I'm a humble person differently. If you get to know me, I am humble, and you know what I mean? So if I can spread a message out there, and people who know me from my community hear me, and how to say that they want to take the opportunity to even come to myself to assist them differently. I am willing, and I would also reach out to somebody youth, because as I say again, without education, it'd be like you're really a little delinquent in that word, so to say, because you'll be ignorant to certain things in life. And education could put you in a different pedestal where you could watch things differently, And student partner in the back there, he loved to read the Bible, so he want to do like maybe be like Bible studies, I don't know, but just saying, reading. I used to read the Bible and things too, and you know what I mean, it'll help you to read, you know what I mean, to it could encourage people to do things differently, you know what I mean, and
we just it's reaching out to people out there, because I always hear people say, big man like you can't read, by?
People feel embarrassed.
And people feel embarrassed, and they don't come for, and then so too are students who go into school, and now we have co-ed schools, so it have girls in the class, they don't want the girls to know they can't read, so they put up this tough guy approach, and teachers cannot approach them. Teachers, they become notorious that no teacher would ask them any question.
Yeah, because of the attitude and the ignorance.
Right.
And if you're educated, you will be on a certain level, you will be more, you know what I mean? You'll be around educated people and you see how they act. I mean, it's some ignorant stuff, one that, you know what I mean, who too full of themselves, but that's being on a real level. Ignorant people just act a certain way, but if you're educated, you present yourself in a different manner.
Yeah, because even in arguments, some people prefer to go straight to physical rather than verbal
because of
de-escalation.
Like we could break it back down to this. The streets. You get weight up a fella, he might use a gun, he might want to bust up your head, stuff like that. Educated people who on top of the game like lawyers and things, they will take it to the court, right? And challenge the day, break it financially, take away whatever, and that aspect of it. So if you don't have that knowledge,
they could just have a conversation.
You know what I'm saying? So
deal with it that way.
Yeah. Huh?
And deal with it that way.
Yeah,
Talk.
yeah. But some people could have dialogue, and they might try to deal with it in that way. But just basing the difference, as I said, for the education and for the non-education, which is the ignorance, especially the street level, you know, they take it to violence. And some people in the education, they get them in trouble, or they try to come down their business or wherever, they'll sue you for definition of, you know, characters and stuff like that. Take it to court and hurt you financially and break your business and stuff. But you have to have the knowledge to know that. You know what I mean? So that's why basically education is a key. And it's teach you a lot, you know what I mean? To know you could read, write, teach others, they have family, friends, and you could learn them. Somebody could come to you and they could teach them something that you feel so proud of yourself because our tutors, I could say they were wonderful.
Well, I hope members of the Joint Select Committee listening this morning and can tie into some of the questions. I hope they are answered because they did that sitting about students who are falling behind in the education system and what can be the cause of it. And I am thinking that this is one aspect of it that is constantly overlooked, and because what we see the end result, you know, of that pest, but we really don't know what drove that pest to be a pest in the first place, you know. And after hearing too that there are parents who, I find there should be a charge for that. There are parents who know that your child cannot read and is like they're in denial too as well. And you ask them about it and say, well, no, I don't want no stigma attached to my child being, but you're growing up the child to be, you know, a non-reader. Let me just say, it's bad.
But before we run out of time, God, because the time is already 20 minutes after 11. I would like to go back into to talk about ALTA and ALTA's work in terms of the tutors now. How can members of the public, Mr. Bain, how can members of the public support the work of ALTA if you don't have time to be a tutor?
Well, we can contribute or donate or sponsor, I think is the word.
Come closer to you,
sorry. Yeah, you know, you can sponsor a student, $600, or you can sponsor a class. You know, there's also the ALTA online. I think is $600 for ebook or something. I can't remember. What's that? 6?
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Independency.
So $600 for ebooks. So, you know, people can donate all of these things to
the
help.
Organization.
Yes,
because ALTA is an NGO.
It's a non-profit.
Of course, they are always in need of assistance. But for you personally, Mr. Bain, why did you decide to become a tutor with ALTA?
Wow. Firstly, as far as I could remember, as a young boy, I always admired people who retired and were giving back to society one way or the next. All right? And I decided that if I lived to work and retire, I would want to do something like that. So on about 2 months before I went on retirement leave, I browsed through the newspaper and my eye lit upon the ALTA advertisement. So I made a phone call and I was accepted, interviewed, and was trained, and that is it. Became an ALTA tutor.
Ever since, how long now have you been a tutor?
Actually, I 8 years in the first instance, and then I took a 3-year hiatus, and I'm back since October.
Ms. Thomas?
That's very commendable, Ms. Thomas. What's your ALTA story?
My ALTA story. As I mentioned earlier, I think reading was something that I always took for granted. I said as a child, I don't remember learning to read. And I realized that if I met someone who couldn't read, I didn't know how to help them. And so I thought it would be helpful to me to learn some skills and techniques to be able to help someone learn to read. And so I started. I think I had also encountered some problems in the workplace, in the communities that I worked in at the time, where people did not access certain programs that were available because they couldn't sign up for the program. They couldn't sign up for the program because they couldn't read. And so I, too, joined ALTA. I joined with my husband, so we were ALTA's only husband and wife teaching team at one point. And so we did the training, thought we would learn to teach and give back to the teaching ALTA volunteer class for a year. That's what they require of you. You don't have to pay for the training, but they ask you once you are trained to volunteer to teach for a year. And the classes, it's 2 classes per week. Each class is 2 hours per class. So that was giving up 4 hours per week. And so I did that. The 1 year has turned into 14 years and continue to do it.
That is the kind of connect how ALTA does have here. Because, you know, as she just mentioned, 2 hours per
2 hours twice a week.
Right?
Two hours
Class,
per
right?
class.
Is
Yeah.
not really enough. No disrespect on the thing.
Yeah.
Meaning that if you want to really learn, as I say, sometimes you can take your time off on your own to do your thing because you have your books and stuff and you could try to do whatever it is. But sometimes it's challenging that might just be you alone in your whole household doing the ALTA.
Yeah.
Right? So in a sense what I'm trying to say is this, which I had that encounter and still have it to this point. Nobody to really go to. Meaning like, you know, you have a student, you know, some people are going across by Miss so and we go and do homework together. They don't have that, you know what I'm saying? Now, I might try to reach out to a tutor, which is very helpful online, you know what I mean? Because they can say call anytime and I love that. But then too, you have to be respectful and mindful as a family too, so you have to know your boundaries as sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying now?
Yes.
So just knowing that alone, you know, we are still willing to help because they know it's volunteers. So, you know, everybody have a life of their own. So you just have to do it moderate now. You know, so certain times I might reach out to your tutor, you're willing to assist, yeah? Sometimes I might reach out to them and I say, Ronald, I'm not doing something, I could get back to you, send whatever it is, and I will get back to you. And they do. You know what I'm saying? But then sometimes again, to be persistent in something is wanted.
So I think, Ronald, the 2 hours may seem as though it's not enough, but we remember we are dealing with adults, and in many cases they're working. They have a work life, they have a family life, and so 2 hours is a reasonable amount of time to expect people to put aside for a class and to do that twice a week. Yeah. So
I didn't mean it in that way. I didn't mean it like it's too not enough. How it might come across in that way, but just stating in a sense that, you know, for people, not everybody might be working, right? But some people come to learn, remember, the literacy, the ALTA, you know, the opportunity. And, you know, school, like, I come back to school, right? So, you know, school is like 5 days a week, you know, that kind of way, and sometimes 8 hours a day, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean? So, you know, there's the 2 hours alone sometimes. But not to see it in no bad way, but I understand what you're saying because, yes, still, it have adults, as I say, I had to take up with the work time, because that's why sometimes I used to go to class at 6 o'clock online and finish at 8. We normally, when you're going, it used to be 5 o'clock and finish 7. But we try to deal with other people work schedule and accommodate with everybody. They where the online class it come more, you know, helpful to see in that aspect.
You don't have to put on your clothes and leave your house.
Yes, and then too, you can still, tutors would be like, all right, 5:30 good for you all, 6 o'clock is good, and we make our scheduled time, and we all meet at that time on Zoom, and we have the link, and we do our stuff. Now, in my classes, I have 21 students, right? Now, not every class session, these 21 students may appear. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes 15, 16, 17, you know what I mean? And it all depends, as I say again, this work schedule. Sometimes people get caught up doing, sometimes I get message because we have a group chat. They say, sir, oh, miss, I will be there coming in later, you know, I working overtime, or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? So the teachers and them have to give in that aspect.
Okay.
So,
Thank you very much.
Tell us now about ALTA, about how does one become a student, what are some of the main programs that you offer, and how does one become a tutor? Let's start with the programs, the three main programs offered at ALTA.
Yes, so as students register with ALTA, so our main registration and intake period is September. So the ALTA promotions usually appear in the latter part of the school vacation period, and our classes run with the academic year. So students will register usually at a library, or they can just walk into classes when classes start at the beginning of the school term. We do a short assessment with them to know where they are and what class to place them in. So if you come into ALTA, you can either be placed at a beginner's class, a level 1 or a level 2 class. Some persons can participate in our reading circle. We also have a spelling program for those who are in the level 2 class. Their reading is pretty good. They need help with spelling, so they can go to the spelling program, and they can do the spelling program while they're still in the level 2 class. Persons who have graduated from the level 2 class and who want to go on perhaps with the goal of doing CXC subjects or other subjects can be promoted to level 3. So those are the options we have in terms of the levels. As I said, it's either an in-person community class or a virtual class. So when you register, you sign up for either of those. Or we're doing the ALTA online program with the schools, the prisons, with the public sector workers as well. That has been happening for the last couple of years. So those are the options people have for getting into the program. We are still taking new students in, even though classes started in September. We can take new students in still. There are still a few classes that do not have their full complement of students. We have Tranquility Secondaries 1, the NALIS class at the library in the afternoon. That class is still has space in it. So students can turn up at a class and go through the assessment and be placed in the appropriate level. And we will continue to do that into the start of next term in January. As far as becoming a tutor, persons who are interested in becoming volunteer tutors with ALTA, we've had a campaign going, so we've been advertising that as well. But you can call the ALTA office, indicate your interest. We will take some information from you, invite you to an interview. You will be interviewed by existing ALTA tutors or former ALTA tutors, and we invite you to observe a class. We invite you to observe 6 consecutive classes. So that allows you to see the ALTA method in process, and it also allows you to determine if this is really a fit for you. And so once you have observed the classes, and you want to continue, we then organize a training, and the training usually happens after Easter, and that's also 6 consecutive full days this time. Usually it could be a Saturday, other days, but we have training at our Belmont office, we have training at our San Fernando office as well, and so people go through the 6 weeks of training, and if you successfully complete that training, then ALTA will place you in a class to start teaching in September.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Really well articulated.
Just to repeat, for those of you wanting the website and phone number, the phone number at the ALTA head office is 624-2582, or you can visit their website at alta-tt.org. That's ALTA, ALTA-tt.org.
All right, and before we could take a break, and when we come back, we could we want to highlight what the counter trafficking unit had been up to. They had recently Operation Iron Heart, and again, it's a unit that's silently working. And say good morning to the director and deputy director in Alan Miguel and Dane Marie Marshall, deputy director, and all the officers and other staff at the counter trafficking unit. Congratulations once again on the work you're doing. I want to have a different ending to this program today, because like about 5 to the hour, we will thank our guests and ask them to leave the studio because I have something to address. And I don't want the guests in studio to be part of this. So, and that's how serious it is. I'll be addressing a situation with Eastern Credit Union and Kuna Caribbean. So, let's go to a break. And when we return, we'll update you on the goings on, excuse me, at the counter trafficking unit. And we thank and take some calls if you have any calls or any questions or comments or for our guests. And we'll wrap up after that. We'll be back. Stay right there.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Dobson here from HMP London. Can I speak to Mr. James, please?
This is Mr. James speaking.
Thank you. Can you hold the line? I have a call coming through to you, sir.
Sure.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, yes, Brian?
Daddy, I'm just calling to tell you that look up in the UK for drug trafficking.
Oh, yeah? You lock up? And you tell me I was going to Bago? And I tell you about them boy I was liming with? Well, all right. Don't drop the soap. Carry on.
Eye on Dependency. Reality radio at its best every Sunday on I 95.5 FM.
Oh gosh, it really making hot today, boy.
Mommy, what you drinking?
I'm trying to cool down in this heat. Beer is not for you though. Only adults can have alcohol.
But Mommy, alcohol is not for you either. Pregnant women not supposed to drink alcohol.
Where you hear that?
Mr. Gart from Iron Dependency was telling us in school about fetal alcohol syndrome. That's what babies get when mommies drink while they're pregnant. I don't want a brother or sister like that, Mommy.
Okay, you're right. I'll go drink water instead because I want this baby to be a happy, healthy child just like you.
Thank you, Mommy.
Drinking while pregnant can have devastating consequences. Think before you drink. A message from Eye on Dependency.
My story is an ALTA story.
Before ALTA, I was so nervous, never understand a lot of things. ALTA is a nice place to learn. Like if any student in this program made a mistake, or the other students will turn and help out that student.
In ALTA for a long while, I'm not lying. In ALTA, jump out, I call me challenging. It was hard, but I fight still. I started to feel nice. I started to feel sweet about myself.
I really know my skill was terrible. In within a year time, I do that level 1. I completed. What? That was like a dream.
The teachers are very wonderful, which is one thing I love. The next thing I love about it, it's free. You can't study what persons may think, the perception of person. So you have to focus on what you want.
I am enjoying every moment in ALTA.
Today now, I can read, I can write, I can spell. Get into ALTA so you can write your story.
708-1990.
Join us this Sunday for episode 47 of Eye on Dependency, where every life is a biography.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a person challenged with reading? How does it feel to sit in the classroom and fall behind year after year? Are non-readers susceptible to crime?
So like the other day I had a challenge when I go to the bank, they give me a form and they just give me the pen and the paper and it's like, and you know, if you don't know how to read and write and spell and thing, you will have trouble.
This Sunday, we spotlight adult literacy and the life-changing work of ALTA, the Adult Literacy Tutors Association. We'll be joined by volunteer tutors Deborah Thomas Austin and Alexander Bain, along with students Evans James and Ronald Lester, who are reshaping their futures one word at a time. Listen live from 10 a.m. on I-95.5 FM or watch live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page or YouTube channel. The Counter Trafficking Unit, Ministry of Homeland Security brings you Eye on Dependency. Independency. We don't just share stories, we change lives.
And as we come closer to the end of our program, let's quickly go to Operation Ironheart update. Mr. A. Sortman and BC people calling already. Hold on, callers. We'll take a call in a minute. 6223937. Hold on a second. Let's go to that update quickly. Natasha, share it with our listeners. What the counter trafficking unit has been up to.
This computer unfortunately is moving very slow because I usually pull up the graphic before it comes on screen, but as I wait for the graphic to come up, right. So 4 suspects on a sex trafficking charges have appeared before court on Monday the 17th of November 2025. 4 accused arrested during Operation Ironheart appeared before a master of the High Court to answer several charges inclusive of trafficking of a minor, sexual penetration of a minor, and common assault of a minor. The accused, Anil Jagdin of Clark Road, Penal. Accused 2, Anand Rampasad, a.k.a. Janovi, a.k.a. Janovich, a.k.a. Crow of Mohes Road, Penal. Accused 3, Jose Miguel Paduani, a.k.a. Miguel, a Venezuelan national. Accused 4, Agustin Antonio Aguilera, a.k.a. Cook, a Venezuelan national. Jagdin and Rampasad had been granted $250,000 bail with surety, which will also require them to present themselves at the Penal police station once a week. Paduani and Aguilera were both denied bail, and you can imagine why. They're not nationals of Trinidad and Tobago, and they may be here illegally. Operation Ironheart, which occurred early Tuesday, 11th of November 2025, saw the counter-trafficking unit in partnership with several national law enforcement agencies arrest these suspects in relation to the sex trafficking of a 14-year-old Venezuelan female victim. Though through operations like these, the counter-trafficking unit continues to lead the national fight against human trafficking, protecting victims, pursuing offenders, and strengthening prevention measures across Trinidad and Tobago. The public is reminded that human trafficking is a serious crime. If you suspect someone may be a victim, please contact the CTU hotline at 800-4CTU, that's 800-4288. All calls are confidential.
Thank you very much, counter trafficking unit. Once again, trafficking a 14-year-old. We have some really, oh God, 6223937. I don't want to. The lines are open. It's just really sad to know. And you know, folks, that trafficker could be sitting right next to you in a maxi going up the road and you wouldn't even know.
Yep.
You know, that's how weird it is. You know, that person will be driving in and out of a home, waving to neighbors, going and pick up a 14-year-old to carry her to get trafficked. You please pay attention. All right, the lines are open. If you have any questions, comments to make for our guests as we come to the end of this week's edition of Our Independency, and give us a call at 622-3937. And as we thank our guests for coming, Mr. Evans, and of course Mr. Sir Lester, Ronald Lester, and Evans James, we thank you all very much for wanting to share your stories this morning with us, and of course Mr. Bain and Deborah Thomas Austin for being with us this morning. So we take our first call. And welcome to you, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you today? I'd like to say good morning to the panel and TNT. I'm a teacher at a primary school.
Right.
And I would like to commend the ALTA students for saying that teachers are special.
Yes,
and
you
we
are.
just get a special salary. Because every day we have to exhaust the same patients. It is very difficult. The times that we live in. I would also like to say kudos to the exceptional tutors at ALTA and credits to the parent who has the 6 children to see that it was fit to provide classes to change that illiteracy story. Spinning off from my points made, it is an epidemic with illiteracy in private schools. Over time, children year after year come with reading and writing deficiencies, and it is very difficult for teachers. I always say 3 things involved: parents, teacher, and child. And if that unity does not come to the forefront, then the challenges begin. So some of the issues are like class size, unsupported parents, child's natural ability, what the mother did while pregnant, because I did a course once, and they said that when a mother is stressed, her body releases a chemical that washes the brain like acid. So therefore, the children come with their own challenges before they are even born. I use the Jolly Phonics program, which I have found it to be very successful in collaboration with some of my own techniques. I teach through play, technology learning, let's say Gardner's multiple intelligences. And that's my contribution. Anything you would like to ask me before?
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you very much for your efforts.
Yes.
They are very invaluable, and trust me, despite the connotations and the things that you might hear, we do value teachers and educators.
Yes, thank you. And I always say, pray for us, teachers.
Yes, we always do.
Because
we
teachers
always
are
do.
also
I'm
parents.
being
and
an
you have-
ALTA tutor, so I took the information.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Same to you all. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Thomas there. Hello?
Dr. Thomas?
Am I hearing right?
Tom.
Anyway, morning to the panel. I would like to compliment Dr. Thomas. This is Tansley Thompson here. And I work with her, and I could still learn from her. And I want to appeal to all sportsmen in Trinidad and Tobago to join ALTA. Because a lot of them they're playing top-class football and cricket and hockey, but they can't speak, they can't write. And when you go out to represent the country, you have to be able to address the world. So it's a very good step to go to ALTA, get that kind of background, and go and represent the country outside. And all those who are over the country and parents, you're not going to be doing anybody any harm, you're doing yourself. You will be doing yourself a worthy, that you're going to benefit from it in life as you go along. I am old now, but I learned a lot from Dr. Thomas. I worked with sport discipline for a while, and whoever goes under her, they're going to learn. And that's what I wanted to play compliments to her and to all. I understand Christinet was involved with ALTA too. We saw him the other day. And I hope all others who could assist. I am going to try to see if I could assist in a small way, whether it's children or whatever. But hopefully I'll chat with Dr. Thomas later on. Take care and God bless.
All right.
Thanks, Stanley. Great to hear from you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Mr. Bain, were you in the military? Were you ever in the military?
Hello?
No, sir, not you, Tansy, sorry.
Oh.
All right. Were you ever in the military, Mr.? You were? Yes, in Coast Guard?
Yes.
Well, I know somebody asked me that, and I didn't, what year? What year you served?
89 to 99.
What? Okay.
So you see, retired military, though bound to go back to Tetron, they can also provide valuable service through ALTA, teaching people how to read.
Well, I was so there just reached out and asked, and I tell him I don't think so, but I didn't know. Okay. Yeah, well, okay, well, we have a wholesaler in studio with us.
Yes.
I'm
Can't get away
a
from
veteran, yes, a veteran giving of his time.
Yes,
So,
which is also very commendable. But I want to just pick up on the point that Mr. Thompson made about athletes and their inability to read in some instances. I was actually at a workshop the other day where one of the presenters was talking about just that. He's a basketball coach at UE, and he comes across athletes who are not further in their education, and they have nothing to fall back on if they aren't successful in their sport of choice. So it's very important for all levels, all everybody to have the ability to read, so that you can advance. Even if your discipline is not focused on reading and writing, it's still an important life skill to have.
yes, and even to do interviews too. When you put a microphone in front of them,
Yes.
It's sometimes you're praying and hoping that they don't use green verbs and
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So it's really necessary. But folks, we want to thank you all very much for giving up your time. Any closing remarks from you, Ms. Thomas, Dr. Thomas?
You were going so well all the time. No, I think just to encourage people to come out. If you think you know someone or you yourself may be challenged, to reach out to ALTA. There is a solution. To those who may consider that they have the time and want to be volunteer tutors, we would be happy to have you on board. Natasha, you asked earlier about ways in which people can support. And in addition to what Mr. Bain said, we also have deed of covenant opportunities. So people can donate to ALTA and get some tax relief from that. But also volunteer their time to bring awareness of literacy and to spread the ALTA message. Even in workplaces, you may get people in your workplace to volunteer. You may get your company to be willing to sponsor ALTA students and so on. Supporting by sponsoring the student workbooks, supporting supplies to the classrooms, and various other ways that we could get involved. Yes, T-shirts and so on.
Mr.
Yes.
Bain?
So thank you so much for having us on this
You're
morning.
welcome. Mr. Bain?
Yeah. Thank you all for having us and ALTA, and giving ALTA the A to broaden the scope, so to speak, so that there are people can tune into. When I say tune in, do the necessary report. Go to the you could go to any ALTA class at this time, in spite of the term has already started and close to the end. But as we said, we continue to accept students, and of course, for those who are willing to be tutors, to go through the process. The information is there, the contact information, and go through the processes, and so that we can help to reduce we can help to improve literacy throughout our country.
Thank you very much. Closing remarks from you, sir?
I just wonderful. I'm so wonderful just to be here on the I-95 with Gat and Natasha. Special, I'll get a little overwhelming with the vibes and emotional, but it's all good. And I would just say to the people out there, as usual, come, they could join the ALTA. It's, will help you and a lot with your literacy. And I pleading to the younger youths and them who are there, mothers and the guys on the block and stuff like that, reach out to the ALTA. It will be successful for you all. It will change your mindset, and it will put you in a different frame of mind. And my ALTA story is always a story that I'll be willing to tell and spread the love through across the country that ALTA, to be honestly speaking, it's helpful and it will help you.
Come, sir. Closing remarks?
Yes. Thank you all for having me here. Just want to say there's nothing wrong in joining the ALTA class. Once you don't know something, you can go forward and learn. Learning is the key to success. Okay? You'll have a blessed day.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you very much, folks. And we ask if you all could just
I will help you out.
escort them outside while I
Tell us,
address
please. We don't
the situation. Yes. Yeah, you'll wait for us downstairs. I'll just be about 3 minutes here. All right. I just want to address this issue. So many give a little bed music in the meantime as these guests make their way out. Okay.
Whether you're up or down, for you need a lift. The race is not for the swift. And if you're working hard or you have a kid, the race is not for the swift. I tell you, times are rough when you feel the switch. The race is not for the swift. If on elevator, make a shift. The race is not for the swift.
All right, so folks, that was Independency, our guests, and as they make their way downstairs, I want to address an issue here that has been bugging me for quite a while, and I even hoping I was asking Natasha to leave the studio too, because this has to do with two institutions in our country. We don't know who is at fault, but I'm sure Natasha is not the first person, and this is the first you're going to be hearing about this, because I do intend, you see, people in Trinidad and Tobago must understand that professionalism is a very important aspect of doing business, and which will help a country to improve. So that when you deal with families, and we have families outside to deal with, they will admire the professionalism of institutions in Trinidad and Tobago. And I must say to Eastern Credit Union and Kuna Caribbean, we don't know what it is going on, but something happened with Natasha that I'm not pleased about. And as a husband who don't like to see his wife cry or hurt, this bothered me. Somebody need to fix this with what's going on with Natasha, and that conversation she had on Friday via WhatsApp, not even official, via WhatsApp from an official of Eastern, giving her what I call a cock and bull story. And one blaming the other institution. We don't know who is at fault. The thing is, there are people who take this and walk away. I do like to see my wife cry. Natasha is one of the hardest working citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. You all don't know the kind of work she does behind the scenes to help Trinidad and Tobago. She constantly between two computers. Sometimes I have to tell her to rest. And if her mother leaves this earth and leaves inheritance for her, no one should deny her that. And the unprofessional manner in which this happened, you wouldn't believe, is like a whole year and a half now. We back and forth, and she's back and forth with this institution. We are not satisfied, and she's not satisfied, and so am I. I'm not satisfied with how she was treated, how everything went down. It's very unprofessional. And we need to make and do better by the citizens, by our citizens. Have care and concern, and citizens should not be on their knees begging and pleading to be respected and treated professionally. And I'm only raising this issue here, and if it is, I have to go on a media tour to explain what I've witnessed my wife experience, trying to get her mother's inheritance, or what was left for her. That's not a favor. It's a right of a citizen to access that when their relative pass away. And to see how this went down, I am not pleased about it. And I am sure there are a number of citizens who have experienced the same thing and just choose to walk away. Not this husband. I don't make my wife cry, and I do like other people making her cry. And this needs a fix. And I'm just raising the issue here, just scratching the surface, because I'm not going to call any names or anything like that. Because you see, when you call names of people, they feel disrespected and you're bad talking. It's not bad talking. Trinidad and Tobago have too many unprofessional professionals working in different institutions. Let me just put it that way. And from one person to the next, you hear a different story, and it's mind-blowing what the experience was with her. I have had enough of seeing her in pain with this, and this is why I'm starting the conversation here. Eastern and Kuna, do right by Natasha Nunez, please. Otherwise, I don't think it's a topic you all want raised on radio, because I'm sure once you do that, other people who are affected by this treatment will come forward. We are not about embarrassing people, but injustice should not continue. For a safer country, for productive citizens, for citizens to care and treat other people right, they must be treated right too as well. Time you all fix this. It is time you all fix this, deal with your family in a professional manner. Because you see, when you want people to come and buy into what you're selling, oh, you're very attentive. When they miss a payment, you let them know that. But from the time it has to be the other way around, you have to be, begging and pleading people for answers. This is not good. And for two respected institutions, I am totally disappointed how my wife was treated. It should not happen. I cleared the studio. She's not even in here. But you see hurting her, it hurts me to see her hurt. Do better by your citizens. You all fix this, and I hope by this week, the two institutions would do the right thing. Otherwise, the family prepare to go further with this. So I'm just reaching out here this morning as a concerned citizen, a concerned husband, and asking that this don't happen to other people in Trinidad and Tobago. Fix this for me, please. Fix it. This has been our independency. As we deal with all social issues, sometimes we have our cross to bear too as well, and we try to do it with grace. But there are times when you have to put your foot down and ask professional people to be more professional in dealing with the public. I thank you very much for listening to Independency, and join us next week, God willing, for another social intervention where we present voice for the voiceless. Storm and Tom, thank you very much, and have a good week, folks. Take care.
In Heaven's Final Call, a fresh look into the Holy Bible through the books of Daniel and the Revelations relating to the end of time. That segment of eternity devoted to resolving the problem of sin and evil.